and welcome back. Today we're doing puzzle number 80 in the Fiendish Logic Puzzle book from Puzzle Baron and Stephen P. Ryder. This one is called Coffee Shop, and it's a logic puzzle classic. Who ordered what in a restaurant? In this case, coffee at a coffee shop. We have 7 different customers who ordered 7 different drinks, and this is where it might get confusing, from 7 different servers for 7 different prices. Now, I'm sure you noticed that there's quite a bit of marks on the page. This is not my first attempt, but I made a mistake. So I just had to erase everything and start over, which is a shame because it was a really great first round. But the mistake I made is that I mixed up Brian and Jacob, and we'll see why that's wrong once we jump right in, starting now. Number 1 of the drinks served by Olivia and Yvette. One cost $3.90. The other was Jacob's. So right off the bat, we have 2 in the same category, Olivia and Yvette. So the $3.90 can only be Yvette or Olivia. And so can Jacob. But I won't leave you in suspense. As you can see, I've already matched Yvette to the $3.90 and Olivia to Jacob. That's because if we skip down to clue number 12, the most expensive coffee is either iced Americano or Robin. It can't be Robin because $3.90 is the most expensive coffee, and it's either Olivia or Yvette. So the most expensive coffee is the iced Americano. And if we look at clue number 7, so if the iced Americano is $3.90, that means Yvette, according to clue number 1, is either the iced Americano or Jacob. And according to 7, Yvette is either the iced Americano or Brian. Therefore, she's the iced Americano. That's the $3.90, and that means Jacob is Olivia. Won't leave you in suspense. I'm sure you could all see the marks. I'll put 2 checks just so I know. And okay. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. And this is actually different than how I did it the first time, but I am going to do this. So, number 4, of Brian's coffee and the least expensive drink, one is Mocha, the other is Linda. Now, Mocha costs 20 cents more than Charlie, so it can't be the least expensive drink. That means the least expensive is Linda, and Brian is the Mocha. And the reason I jumped to that is because clue number 2, which we're going to go back to right now, is that the eggnog is 20 cents more than Linda. And if I already know what Linda is, because it's going to come up in a couple of clues, I don't want to waste all that time. I can just tell you right off the bat now that if the eggnog is 20 cents more than Linda, who is the least expensive, it's $3.50. What do we do with all the time we just saved? This would be a great place to put in a video of my dog, but I don't have one. Okay, Charlie's coffee was cheaper than Frederick's. So Charlie can't be the most expensive. Frederick can't be the least expensive, which means he can't be Linda. Okay. Right, we already talked about Brian's coffee, which is the Mocha. Kristen is either Frederick's or the espresso, so Frederick is not espresso. Mocha, as we said, costs 20 cents more than Charlie. And it's also Brian, so Brian is 20 cents more than Charlie. Good. And Brian is mocha, so I should put that here. Actually, mocha can't be $3.50, which means Charlie can't be 20 cents less than that, which means he can't be Linda. Interesting. Oh, and Charlie has to be less than Frederick, so Frederick can't be $3.40. All right, we already said Yvette was the iced Americano. Oh, but Yvette is either iced Americano or Brian, so she can't be Brian. We scratch that off. And Brian is the mocha, which is 20 cents more than Charlie, so Charlie can't be $3.70. Brian also can't be Naomi, so can't be Yvette, can't be Naomi. Okay, and Naomi costs 10 cents more than Jacob, which is Olivia, by the way. So if Olivia can't be the first, I should probably scratch that off too. And Olivia can't be the last. Okay, Naomi is 10 cents more than Jacob. Lovely. Okay, the beverage Linda served was cheaper than the macchiato. Not the most helpful clue because Linda is the cheapest. So everything's cheaper than her, but it does tell us that she can't be the macchiato. Number 11, Charlie's drink was either $3.70 or the one that Kristen served. We already said that Charlie can't be the $3.70 because Charlie's drink cost 20 cents less than the mocha, and Brian, who is the mocha, cannot be Yvette, who is $3.90, so if Brian can't be here, Charlie can't be there. And if Charlie can't be there, he must be the one Kristen served. And Kristen is either Frederick or the espresso. Charlie is not Frederick, so it must be the espresso. This isn't exact. Actually, this is the first time I've done this, as you can see from the fresh pen marks. But the first time when I messed up, it was messing up and thinking that Jacob was the mocha. That was 20 cents more than Charlie instead of Brian. Okay, and to clean up the board a bit. Good. Iced Americano. Charlie is espresso. Move there. Oh, great. That's going to be very interesting. But first, espresso is Charlie. Okay, and mocha is Brian. Okay. Now, $3.60 must either be Brian or Charlie. And by the same logic, of course, espresso or mocha. And by the exact same logic, no, we don't know who is Brian yet. Okay, but Kristen and whoever Brian could be. That's because they only have two open options apiece. They're separated by an equal interval and they share one row. So either Charlie can be here and Brian can be $3.60, or Brian can be here and Charlie can be $3.60. But if anything else took that slot, then Charlie would be here, Brian would be there, that'd be the only other options, and they wouldn't be 20 cents apart. And of course, espresso and mocha are just the same people, so same logic there. All right, now Jacob is Olivia. Anyone else affected by this? Okay, so Charlie is Kristen. Not yet, but it might be starting here. 6 of the orders were Eduardo's drink. The coffee Yvette served. The vanilla latte. I don't like that X, I'm gonna redo it. And the 3 that cost $3.40, $3.50, and $3.80. So That's also the vanilla latte, correct? 40, 350, 380. And Yvette is 390. I'll write that down. And, okay, good. Lovely. So it's an incomplete list. We have 6 of them and then one that's not on the list. Number 14, the 380 order was Austin's or the one handled by Robin. So Robin is not Austin. And finally, Jacob's coffee is cheaper than Daryl's, which didn't come to either 350 or 390. So Daryl can't be 350 or 390, and Jacob has to be less than him. Good. Wait, almost good. Yes, good. Because if Daryl was here, Jacob would have to be more than him, so good. It can't be 360, can't be 350, can't be 3... And then these two go towards getting ahead of Jacob. So Daryl was here, Jacob would have to be. Good. All right. It's a very good first round. Let's add what we need to the chart. Okay. Let's clean up the board a bit. Kristen is Charlie. Back to the top. Oh, back to the check. Charlie's coffee is cheaper than Frederick. That's still good. Kristen was the espresso, not Frederick, right? Good. Mocha is 20 cents more than Charlie. Brian is the mocha, not Naomi. Oh, also not Linda. So Willie or Robin for Brian? Iced Americano. Naomi is 10 cents more than Jacob. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so vanilla latte is Linda, Olivia, Robin, or Willie. But not Kristen. Not Naomi. Okay, Robin has to either be Austin or anyone who could order 380. So, no, that's not true. Excuse me. Okay, how about... Now I'm going to look at the list clue. So how about Daryl? It could only be 370 or 380. If he's 380, he has to be Robin. Either 380 or he's the vanilla latte. What about Linda? Okay, who can we find? Who isn't on the list? Eggnog latte should be narrowed down a bit. Eduardo is cappuccino or macchiato. Okay. Can't be Kristen, so we get rid of that. Okay, how about this? So 360 is either Brian or Charlie, right? So it has to either be Kristen or anyone that Brian could be, which at this point can only be Robin or Willie. So 360 can't be Naomi. And Naomi is 10 cents more than Olivia, right? And that's Jacob, so now Jacob can't be eggnog. Good for him. Okay, that's interesting. Aha! So since we did that Jacob thing, now both Frederick and, 350 and 390 both can only be Frederick or Austin. So no one else can take those slots. They're taken. So we can eliminate them everywhere else. Yes. Yeah, 350 is where it was. Good. And we also know what those drinks are. So Austin is now either eggnog latte and iced Americano. Same for Frederick, of course. But that means Austin can't be the 380. So it must be the one handled by Robin. She's on the list, in fact. And that gives us our Naomi, which gives us our Olivia, which gives us our Jacob. Which gives us our Charlie, which gives us our Brian, which gives us our Mocha, and our espresso. And our Kristen is the espresso. Gives us our Kristen. And that should give us our Willie. That should be all that's left. All right, what a rush of answers. That gives us our Eduardo. That means it can't be the vanilla latte, it has to be cappuccino. And that's Linda, so Linda becomes cappuccino. Vanilla latte is Willie. She's on the list too. Gives us our macchiato. Lovely. So we have all of our drinks and all of our servers. Let's quickly figure out the rest of the customers before we fill in the chart. Eduardo, nope. This is our Daryl. Okay, now we just have Frederick and Austin. Frederick, anything about Frederick? Charlie has to be cheaper than Frederick, so there he goes, and Austin is here. All right, what does that leave us with? Our cheapest at $3.30 is Eduardo, who ordered cappuccino from Linda. Then for $3.40, Jacob ordered macchiato from Olivia. $3.50, Austin ordered eggnog latte from Naomi. $3.60, Charlie ordered espresso from Kristen. $3.70, Daryl ordered vanilla latte from Willie. $3.80, Brian ordered mocha from Robin. And at $3.90, Frederick ordered iced Americano from Yvette. And before I check the answers, just out of curiosity, which one of these wasn't on the list? Eduardo, no. Jacob, macchiato, Livy. It might have been Jacob. Nope, that's $3.40. Austin. So $3.60 is Charlie, espresso, and Kristen. I think it was Charlie, espresso, and Kristen, which wasn't on the list. Okay. That's it. Let's check our answers. 80. I see Eduardo, Jacob, Austin, Charlie, Daryl, Brian, Frederick, Good. Cappuccino, macchiato, eggnog, espresso, vanilla, mocha, and iced Americano, Good. Linda, Olivia, Naomi, Kristen, Willie, Robin, Yvette. We got it. All right. Now I'm going to quickly fill out the rest of the board and use this extra time to thank you all so much for watching. Which of these drinks would you order? I'm not a coffee drinker. I guess I would go with vanilla latte, but not the eggnog latte. Thank you for putting up with all the stray marks on the board. I guess I'm not very good at erasing, so it's clear. If anyone is. All right. And voila! What do we do with all this time we saved? This video was one of my shortest because I had to start over, but it would have gone fast anyway. Probably. I was doing pretty well. Maisie, don't eat paper. Thank you for watching. That drawing on the inside was a sketch I did from an episode of We Bare Bears. I know you could see it. Thanks for watching.